Hey guys, it's Melanie. So it has been a while since I have done an anti-haul, and I did get some requests to do one. So today I am doing an Ulta anti-haul. Um, I'm doing this with a screen recording, obviously, so I am hoping that this turns out okay. So I pulled up some things that I was kind of slightly tempted by and decided to walk you guys through my reasoning for actually not following through and purchasing these particular items. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown in terms of my reasoning and the point behind all of these anti-haul videos, at least from my take and the ones that I have watched, is to not necessarily talk yourself out of everything, but just to take some time and to really think about the items that you're looking at and figuring out where they belong in your collection. Do they really have a place? Are you going to use these things on any kind of regular basis that make them essentially worthwhile in terms of investing in? So, I was looking through new things that have arrived at Ulta over the last like month or so, and these are the things that I have pretty much mostly talked myself out of, and I'm just going to give you guys some reasons behind it. And I will link everything down below for you only because, if you are at all interested in any of these items, you can, go read up a little bit more about them. Maybe they're totally worth it for you because my reasons for not getting them might be your reasons for getting them. You never know. So I'll link everything down below. Okay, we're going to get started with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Eyeshadow Palette. So several of you tagged me on Instagram when this bad boy came out, and I have decided against it because when I recently tried the Norvina palette, I didn't I didn't love it. I ended up returning mine. There are quite a few of those glitter type shades in here, and those just, I don't like them. I don't like the formulation of those. Also, and I don't mean to make myself sound like an old lady, but as I get older, I start to move away from a lot of heavy glitter type products just because I don't think that they look quite right on me anymore. The texture on my eyelids is definitely changing just a little bit. And I feel like the look that I go for now, what you guys mostly see in my videos, is just a very subdued, like everyday, I don't know, I would call it like an office appropriate type eye look. This doesn't really fit in with my everyday look. Also, as you guys know, I have recently fallen in love with my Viseart Grande, like a latte, Grande Pro 1 eyeshadow palette. I just can't get enough of it. And right now, um, I just don't see the need for a whole lot of other eyeshadow palettes. So that's the reasoning for avoiding this one, which is great because it saves me $45. All right, next is a blush palette from Lorac that I am still sort of kind of tempted by, but I'm probably going to go ahead and skip. It is a good deal for $29. The reason that I'm drawn to this is there are four of the light source blushes in here. One of them is Aura, which is honestly just a true favorite of mine in terms of blushes that I have in my collection, but I do already have it. And these other three shades that are in here, while I think they're pretty, I don't think that they're necessary in my collection. And I do like these light source highlighters from Lorac, but I don't wear highlighters that often. So even though this is a good deal for 29 bucks, to get a blush that I already have, and honestly, this highlighter over here is very similar to one that I already have from Lorac, it just doesn't seem worth the investment for me for this one. However, if you are new to Lorac blushes, I would actually recommend checking this one out because the formula is really, really nice. It does stay put on my oily skin very well. They are kind of a they're kind of like a buttery feeling blush in that like they're not super hard in the pan. They're pigmented. You do kind of have to use a light hand, but I don't know. I like them, but just because I already have one of these products and another one that's very similar, this just isn't worth it to me. Okay, these next couple things are actually an easy pass for me. They are from this whole cherry collection that Urban Decay is putting out. So I have the Naked Cherry Highlight and Blush Palette and the, I know, gasp, right? The Cherry Eyeshadow Palette. So I'm passing on both of these. One, this just isn't really my color palette. I think it's kind of cute, which is why I was initially drawn to it. The packaging is very cute. I like the whole idea of cherry. In terms of, typically the color of like those really dark, like maroon cherries in summer, I'm really drawn to them. But this blush isn't really capturing that for me. And then again, we've got like highlighter type products, which I am not your highlighter girl. There's definitely a lot of YouTubers that are, and I will leave it to those people to recommend highlighters. My go-to highlighters are definitely the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders, and everything else I find is just way too shimmery. I prefer more of a glow instead of a shimmer or a shine or a glitter, like a chunkier glitter look. So saves me 34 bucks. And the reason I'm skipping out on the eyeshadow palette is that typically, with the exception of the very first Naked palette, I've gotten rid of my other three Naked palettes that I had. So 2, 3, and 4, right? Yeah. Yes. Gotten rid of those. Um, I just don't love the formula of the Urban Decay eyeshadows anymore. The first one was really good, and I kept the very first Naked palette. By the way, they are doing away with that. If you've ever wanted it, I would get it now. I think a lot of places have it on sale, actually, because they're clearancing it out. Um, but I like this color palette. It is definitely more berry tones, more purples, winey type shades, but I don't love the formula. And so it's just not worth me getting it to even test it out because I have a feeling I'm going to try it and then I'm going to be like, these don't measure up to my Viseart eyeshadows, and I'm probably going to return it. And if I know that's what is likely going to happen, I don't need to get it. So I'm going to pass on that one. Next, there is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie eyeshadow palette friendcation situation. So main reason I'm not getting this is there's several shades in here that I probably wouldn't wear, like this kind of pinky shade, this wouldn't be into it. Plus, they are definitely like pretty heavy in the glitter department. I do kind of like this neutral shade here, and I think this is a very pretty transition color. And this highlight shade's very pretty. But if I'm not going to wear the bulk of these shadows here, it's not worth me getting these. I have wanted to try some Dose of Colors products, but it's not going to be this eyeshadow palette. So yeah, this is a big nope for me. Okay. The next couple of things here are more of just a general, like, I don't think these types of things are a good idea type of situation. So I'm seeing a lot of vaults being released again this year. So collections of products from a brand where you're getting, like, basically, if not all, most of like the lip gloss collection or the lipstick collection or the liquid lipstick collection, or in this case, the Smashbox Cover Shot Eyeshadow Vault, which has pretty much all of their, you guys know I love these palettes. I think they're gorgeous. And I love the formula. But I don't think that in general, things like these vault collections are worth investing in because guaranteed you're going to get these vaults and there's going to be at least a couple, if not more, of the shades in here that you're not going to use. Now, if you're going to gift them out to friends, the shades that you don't wear, maybe it's worth it. But In all likelihood, it's probably not worth it, you guys. Like, do you really want all of these eyeshadows? Probably not. Like, and then you're gonna have to spend $200. Get the 2 or 3 that you want, and then don't worry about the rest. If you know you're not gonna wear them or you don't really have anyone to gift them to, it's just not worth investing in something like this. It's obviously a very cute idea, but I don't think that's a smart use of your makeup money. The older I get, the more I lean towards a more curated collection, so things that I really enjoy wearing. And the more that I do my declutters, the more I am comfortable getting rid of things that I never thought I would get rid of in the past. But if over time I am not reaching for specific things over and over again when I'm doing my shop my stash videos, then those things aren't worth keeping in my collection. And as I'm picking new items out, I'm just being a lot more picky. And I really like having a collection that is more specific to what I really truly love using. Okay, next is this Lipstick Queen, the Nude Album Palette. I'm not gonna lie, I was super tempted by this because I think the shades in here are really pretty, but they are in this like it looks like a little album. But I don't like stuff like this because I just don't think it's quite as sanitary as having a lipstick tube. In the past, when I've had lip palettes like this, I tend to throw them out pretty quickly because they just get gross. But I do kind of like the idea of being able to like mix different lipsticks. But what I think I'm gonna do is just invest in a couple of Lipstick Queen lipsticks to be able to try. I'm just not gonna reach for something like this. And like I said, over time, these tend to get a little bit gross in my eyes, and I'm just, yeah. I'm gonna skip out on that as cute as I think it is. The next thing is, and this is mostly a generalized thing here because there are several available. Brush sets for the holidays, and specifically from It Cosmetics. So in the past, I have looked at these at Ulta, and I have not found the quality and density of the brushes to be the same as the brushes from the regular collection. So for me, while this might seem like a really good deal for $48, and while I probably would get something for this, like either for my nieces or for Stella when she comes of the age to wear makeup, I don't think that I personally like these types of brushes that come in these kits. Like I said, the density isn't there, the quality of the hairs don't seem the same to me. Plus, there's usually always at least 1 or 2 brushes that I probably wouldn't use on any kind of regular basis, so they just kinda go to waste. Once again, I would rather spend the money on one really nice brush that I really need in my collection that I know I'm going to be able to use for years and years. For example, from It Cosmetics, I have their number 701 brush. But it's the from the line is only sold at Sephora. I'll link it down below. I can't remember the name of it. It's the Heavenly Luxe brush number 701. I remember the number, but I'll link it. And that one cost me $58 at the time that I bought it. But it's an amazing brush, and I've had it for a couple years now, and it washes up beautifully, and the density is amazing, and the quality of the bristles is there. It's just worth it to me to spend a little bit more on one brush versus getting a bunch of like more cheaply made brushes that are probably gonna fall apart or I'm just not gonna reach for because they just don't feel the same as a nicer brush. So, um, yeah, just maybe test these out in store first, feel the density, see what your thoughts are on the way that the brushes feel, how they're constructed, and then make a decision on something like this. I wouldn't recommend ordering these online necessarily, unless you absolutely had to. But anyway, all right, just a few more things from Bare Minerals here. I'm always tempted by Bare Minerals during the holidays, and these are, I believe, some of their holiday releases here. Once again, another highlight palette. I'm always drawn to stuff like this, but I just don't wear it. Also, with a lot of these highlight palettes, if you're really fair like me, you'll probably love these two, maybe these three shades here. But are you going to wear these three if you're super pale? Probably not. And you might say to yourself, and this is what I used to say, is like, oh, I'll just use them as eyeshadows. Do I ever actually end up using these as eyeshadows on a regular basis? No. No, I do not. So maybe think twice about these palettes. Again, invest in one really great highlighter and stick with that. You know that shade works for you. You love it. You'll reach for it. You'll finish it at some point. Are you ever going to finish this whole palette? Probably not. Save yourself the 45 bucks. Okay, the Gen Nude Aura Lights eyeshadow palette. Ooh, it's pretty, isn't it? It's really tempting. It's a lot of eyeshadow. There's a lot of eyeshadows in here. And typically I've found the quality of these to be pretty decent, but am I going to reach for most of these shades? Probably not. So I'm skipping it for 48 bucks. And lastly, this one caught my eye because it has their mascara, the new Bare Minerals mascara. Let's see if can I click on this from here? Let's just go to this one. Okay, yeah. The Lashtopia, that's right. So I was really tempted by this because I saw the Lashtopia and I saw this blush. And the blush in here is eyeshadows. What is the Gen Nude blush? Mauve, a mid-toned rosy nude. Yeah, totally drawn to that. But here's the thing. This Gen Nude, is it a liquid lipstick? Patent lip lacquer. Yeah, not going to wear that. Probably not going to use this little guy over here. And I'm probably not going to use the eyeshadow palette on any kind of regular basis. So is this really worth it? Maybe if I were to like gift out the other things, but yeah, no, I probably wouldn't gift those out. So yeah, it is $128 value. If you've never tried anything from Bare Minerals, this is probably a really nice place to start. But for me personally, no. I'd rather just get the Lashtopia mascara again on its own. It is a really nice little holiday set to gift, isn't it? And the little bag's cute. This is a nice gift, you guys. If you're looking for like a girlfriend or something, probably totally worth checking out. But just for myself, I'd rather just get the blush by itself, get the mascara, and then just skip these other 1, 2, 3 things that I would never reach for. So anyway, that's it, you guys. That is what I have in this current anti-haul. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. What are you currently anti-hauling? I'm always curious what you guys are trying to avoid. I'll link everything down below if you want to look these things up and read up a little bit more about them. They might be a good fit for you, but for me personally, these were just things that it was pretty easy to talk myself out of them. So always think twice about your purchases. Make sure that you really want these things or that you really need these things in your collection. And I use the word need in air quotes because none of us need any of this stuff, but you know what I mean. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.